Hello and welcome to match 4 in the Dominion League here. New interface, very nice work by Shuffle It. And we have this kingdom up on the board here. So it's not entirely clear to me what it is that I wanted to do here. Um, there is some draw in Lackeys and Oracle villages in Shantytown, but it's not particularly strong, and there's also colonies on the board. So even if it's not strong, that's probably what you want to go for. So we both open with a bounty hunter. Now the bounty hunter is there for a couple reasons for me, at least I assume for Spiraler as well. The bounty hunter will get you a lot of money, which could help you spike maybe count or expand, both of which will help you to trash and put better cards in your deck in the case of expand. And it'll help thin a little bit. You know, you can get rid of an estate from your deck. It still counts for points at the end of the game, but it doesn't interfere with your deck composition for the rest of the game after that. Now, the question here is what to pair the bounty hunter with. Spiraler thinks for some time, and I think they end up going for, yeah, the Lackeys. Now, I could follow on the Lackeys. I also thought about that, but I decided, sorry about that skip there. I could follow on the Lackeys, but I have some reservations with Lackeys in general. It's probably something I need to work through in understanding the card better because it gives you cards and actions, but villagers run out soon enough. There's Patron on the board, but come on. I don't think you really use Patron to supplement that. So instead of going for the Lackeys for draw, I went for Shantytown for draw, which is fine because it draws the same amount, at least on this turn, right? Maybe later Lackeys will be better than Shantytown, but at least for this shuffle is reasonable. Now, turn 3, this was a rather deflating turn to see here. The Spiraler goes for an expand, and let's get to my turn here. I have an opportunity as well. I was able to draw 2 cards. They didn't, yeah, they played their Bounty Hunter, drew with the Lackeys, and found money for expand. So maybe I draw and find my expand, and then we're on equal footing. We are not. I drew 2, but I only came up with 5. Now I have to think about how to deal with this. Expand is a very strong card in the kingdom, and I'm not going to be able to get one for at least one more shuffle. The option I chose here was a count. What the count can do that the expand cannot do is trash quickly. So hopefully if I get a big enough hand, I can trash quickly. Then later I can use the count for coins to then buy my expand and hopefully have a similar or even better deck composition to my opponent at around the same time in the game. So I go for my count. They go for a second Lackeys here. So lots of Lackeys for them. I, again, could get a Lackeys here. But I have 5. I ended up with double 5 instead of 7 and 2. Arguably the 7 and 2 is better. And instead of going for draw here, I go for a patron. So there is something with patron that I was thinking about during this game. And is kind of how I shaped my strategy. The interaction between Shantytown and patron could work either way in that you can have Shantytown reveal the patrons if you want the coffers, or you play your patrons out of hand first. Look at that turn. Bounty Hunter, Lackeys into expand, so they get through to a new shuffle very quickly, and they trash an estate for a patron. Or you could go the other way with the patron thing, where you play the patrons out of hand first, so there are no actions in your hand, then you play a Shantytown to draw 2. Anyways, that's kind of my mindset going in here. Now, I do have an opportunity here to get an expand, but I am not going to do that. I'm going to stick with my original plan-ish. I wasn't really clear, but I recognize that the count can trash more quickly than the expand, so I am going to take advantage of that here. I am deliberating, of course, between doing that and the expand, because if I do that here, I know I won't get an expand on the next turn, but whatever, you know. let me take the trash in now and see if I can get the expand a bit later. Second shantytown for me there. Going ahead with the plan. So Spirala gets their first shantytown and I pick up my second patron, I believe, on that hand there. So there could be some interaction where I draw with the shantytown. Shantytown is not the best card for draw. You really have to have your deck organized and under control to trigger multiple shantytowns or get a lucky draw. One of those two. And well, we'll see how best I can manage that. So expand comes out for the Spirala, gains Shantytown, gains Patron. I don't have enough money. I go for an Oracle here, which is downright stupid because I was thinking, okay, I'll be cute and reveal my patrons and then get money from it. But you know what Oracle also does? It reveals your opponent's patrons. So terrible, terrible choice of card there. Don't do that. I end up with all my actions here though. So the Shantytown, I maybe could make it draw if I top deck or discard with the count, but I said enough of that now. Let me get my expand. So I wasn't able to trash one more time with the count. I would have liked to do that before getting the expand, but that is how things go. A critical turn there for the Spiraler. Shantytown reveals 3 patrons from the hand, gives them a lot of money, none of which they need to use incidentally because they have platinum money already. So already we are way behind. Plus I've made some poor choices, particularly with the Oracle. I could stand behind the count a little bit more, but the Oracle is no. That's just a garbage choice. And maybe the choice to not go after the Lackeys as well, because Spirala does show me here that second expand for them, by the way. The game is all but done at this point, I feel. They do show me that look, you can support the Lackeys draw here with a combination of Shantytown and Patron. So I'm piling on the patrons. Now I was jealous. Not really. But that turn where they revealed 3 patrons with the Shantytown. I wanted to do that too. Why can't I have nice things? You know? Anyways. I go heavy on the patrons here. They're silvers at the end of the day, which isn't great, but maybe they can be gold if I reveal them at Shantytown. Plus, and more patrons for me is less patrons for them. And they are in a position, I think they're better equipped to force the patrons to reveal themselves to get the extra coffer from them. In which case, they turn into gold, which is pretty good for $4, to be honest. So we have a bit of a think here from the Spiraler, but I think in the end, we know they have a platinum in hand, so they probably just buy a platinum. I think the decision here is on what to expand, if I understand correctly. Let's see. What do they get? Yeah, okay, so they expand their bounty hunter, which, okay, you need to think about that into another expand, third expand, and buy a second platinum. Me coming up way behind here on my first platinum. Not good, not a good look for me here. So I am feeling way behind, feeling completely out of this game. They get another Lackeys, they get Shantytown here. Expand is great, right? Turn your coppers into Lackeys and the Shantytowns. Very good options on the board here for expand. I do something cute here to gain a second expand. It's kind of an unfortunate hand, but you know it'll happen. And incidentally, this is almost identical to the turn before, which is kind of remarkable to be honest, but not remarkable good. I think it's remarkable bad. It's not the worst hand, but you know. Anyway, so we start the end game here. Spiraler expands our platinum. I thought it was too early to do that, but you know what? They're far enough ahead where it doesn't really matter what they do. As long as there's something reasonable, they should be able to win the game. Expand platinum into colony and then repurchase a platinum. I believe it was a play from them there, so they didn't actually lose any platinum, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Here, I think they have enough money to buy a platinum. Yeah, we see 2 platinum in hand, right? So definitely enough money. Choose to expand one and then buy another. With the triple expand in the decks, the platina, the colonies, they will be able to run out the game very quickly here. And very soon I do opt to resign. So game 1 will go to the Spiraler. Not a great start for me in the match, but let's see if we can bounce back in the remaining games. Yeah, there's resignation. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.